morning, viewers from across the globe. Today is Tuesday, August 25th. The Trump administration is preparing to revoke the business and tourism visas of up to 200,000 foreigners who have applied for or are currently seeking asylum status in the United States, a move that will be the largest single mass revocation of visas in U.S. history, and one that has significant implications for Nigerians in America. And Nigeria is mourning the loss of a giant of Yoruba cinema, veteran actor Alhaji Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, who passed away on Saturday, August 23rd, after battling stage 4 cancer. He was 66 years old. Let's dive right in. I'm OjyOkpe, and this is what's trending. Now, before we dive deeper, let's see what you're talking about right now. We've been tracking conversations on X, Facebook, our YouTube live feed, and of course, Leke. And 3 stories are dominating your timelines this morning. Trending at number 1, a deeply disturbing video showing stranded commuters on the Benin-Agbor expressway using machetes to create their own paths through a forest to escape a multi-day traffic gridlock is sending shockwaves across social media. Days without food, without water, and now cutting through a forest just to get home. We have the details. Now, trending at number 2, a new video showing scores of kidnapped victims in a forest is going viral. The victims were reportedly abducted on Friday, August 21st, during Jummah prayers in Niger State, with a 90-year-old father of a district head and the chief imam of Dekara Central Mosque said to be among those taken. Terrorists released the chilling video, claiming to hold as many as 500 victims, including women and children. Now, trending at number 3, a video of a Nasarawa state lawmaker confronting hospital staff on camera after discovering that items including 50 orthopedic mattresses, which he personally funded for the hospital, had all completely vanished. Staff claimed some mattresses went home with discharged patients. Can you imagine? Nigerians are asking, if donated items cannot be protected in a public hospital, what exactly can be? Now, here is where you come in. Join the conversations. Use the hashtag What's Trending with OjyOkpe. Comment on our live feed. And of course, Leke. And I would like to take some comments from our live feed. So please tell me, which of these stories matters most to you? Because for the next hour, we're going into everything that has Nigeria and the rest of the world buzzing. But first, the 2026 Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference in Port Harcourt turned into one of the most anticipated public showdowns of the year as presidential candidates Omoyele Sowore, Peter Obi and Rotimi Amaechi faced off in a heated panel debate on fuel subsidy removal. Sowore came out strongly opposing subsidy removal, arguing that it benefits elites rather than the poor, and went straight for Peter Obi's record as Anambra state governor, alleging that Peter Obi failed to subsidize education during his tenure, leading to lecturers and doctors going on strike for 13 months. Let's watch.
If there's anyone who has been consistent about non-removal of fuel subsidy, it has been me. And it took Amaechi and his principal almost 10 years to catch up with me. They have now reversed their position on fuel subsidy. The question about subsidy is, who are you subsidizing? You are subsidizing the elite. You are subsidizing the governors. The only people who are doing well since they removed subsidy are the governors of states. And when they talk about subsidy, they make it sound like they have not removed subsidy before. I was a student in 1989, they removed subsidy. In 1990, they removed subsidy. They said Nigeria will be better. We are in 2026, they are still removing subsidy. They are robbing Peter Obi to pay Bola Tinubu. That is what removal of subsidy is all about. The poor people of this country only benefit from subsidy from petrol, gasoline. There is no subsidy on kerosene. What did they build with it? There's no subsidy on A1 jet fuel. What did they build with it? Please, please, don't let these politicians lie to you. I love one thing that Amaechi said. He said, apart from Sowore and Adebayo, the rest of us have been in government and we have failed. They have no business coming back. Yes. It is, you guys should be apologizing to the Nigerian people. Let me say one more thing.
Stop lying.
Let me say one more thing.
Stop lying, Sowore.
No.
I said, judge us by our achievements.
No, I'm adding failure to it.
Say
yes,
so. Say so. Don't put.
Okay. One other thing I want to say is that when it comes to subsidy, right, transportation policy is important. We have a former governor of Rivers State here, Amaechi, who built a rail line that went nowhere. If that rail line was working, subsidy would have been working for the people of Rivers State. Okay. I'm not attacking you.
Okay.
But your records are here in Rivers State.
Okay.
And we cannot ignore that those of you who have governed before, who refuse to subsidize your people. Peter Obi did not subsidize education in his state. Lecturers and doctors went on strike for 13 months.
Okay.
You may like him as a person, but he did not perform as a governor. That is the truth.
Okay.
And we can't keep pretending that there's nothing wrong with Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
And those people who have run Nigeria up to this point.
Thank you very much.
I will not remove subsidy.
Thank you.
Because the poor in Nigeria need to be subsidized instead of the rich. We are already subsidizing them with waivers. We are subsidizing their lifestyles. They are driving convoys and big stars and air jets.
Thank you.
We have a duty to return power to the people and subsidize the poor. Thank you very much.
All right. Sowore is doing what opposition politics demands, holding every candidate accountable for their record, not just their rhetoric. Peter Obi's supporters have fired back vigorously online, defending his record as Anambra State governor and accusing Sowore of misrepresenting the facts. Peter Obi at the same conference reaffirmed his support for fuel subsidy removal, saying that mismanagement of the subsidy savings is not justification for bringing it back, and that the problem is how the proceeds were spent and not the removal itself. Let's take a look.
Well, I subscribe and I maintain that you need to remove subsidy. Mismanagement of the proceed should not be the reason for not removing it. What we should have done is that when we remove subsidy, we would have given the people alternative usage for the subsidy. What we have today is that that removal and the attendant resources being recovered is also being mismanaged and stolen. For example, we have received, according to them, 16 trillion. We will, I said it before, go to my manifesto and see how we remove subsidy. We'll do it in an organized manner, and whatever we recover will be invested appropriately.
This puts Peter Obi in direct contrast with Sowore and with Atiku Abubakar, who has pledged to restore the subsidy if elected. This is exactly the kind of debate Nigeria needs ahead of 2027. Records scrutinized and positions tested. Now, the NBA conference has generated a flurry of reactions on social media, and we'll take more discussions from other presidential candidates. But first, good morning to everyone on the table this morning. How are you, Dr. Abati, with the OjyOkpe bow tie? We are matching today, all of us.
Yes, all of us.
Yes.
A touch of blue.
Oh, really?
Very nice. Yes. Good morning, Rufai.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, all right. You know, I mean, this is obviously the biggest story.
You should travel more often.
Yes, I think I want to do that. I'll be out again next week.
I can get more bow tie gifts.
You have to tell everyone. You know I love your bow ties. Yeah. Very
travel. So that when you come back, you give me a bow tie.
It's just the economy is hard, so we can't get there. No, I'd like all of us. Now, I'd like your comment on the altercation between was wasn't really an altercation because exchange of ideas
putting
between
forward alternative ideas.
Sowore and Peter Obi. I'd like for you to quickly analyze Sowore's, a message out there, and then juxtapose it with Peter Obi's message.
Okay, so very important and explosive,
yes.
and the fire that the NBA conference was probably gunning for when they organized this debate,
right.
It didn't disappoint. Now, Sowore had come out to say that he had always been, in fact, of all the candidates, he's been the one who has said for the longest that he would not remove subsidy. And his argument is that subsidy in Nigeria subsidizes the rich and there's no subsidy for the poor. And that is what this administration has done. He spoke very well. But the thing about what he said, and a lot of the things he said, very fiery, very determined, is what Rotimi Amaechi described as don't play to the gallery. Because what we talk about is don't just say what you will do, talk about how you hope to achieve this. One of the questions I'd like to ask him would be that the corruption that existed, how would he ensure that we do not get back to that or to those dark days where there was a cabal, where there was corruption? And it's not just about, we will do this. This is not a luta continua. This is not campaigning, or student movement. This is a whole nation. And there are many variables and dynamics and complexities when it comes to this conversation. And so, yes, I understand where he's coming from, and I do agree with him that if you look at it very largely, and that I think Atiku Abubakar also leaned towards that a lot of times when we talk about these subsidies, we have looked at the boom in the oil and gas industry, more investment, we have more companies thriving, but the people are suffering. And so you can understand his point where he says that the subsidy or the removal of subsidy has only benefited the rich. It has also subsidized governors. And so when we look at it, the missing link for the removal of subsidy for anyone who has argued is how it has has had a bad, terrible effect on the people. The same thing, Peter Obi said, but his was different. Yeah. He agreed with the removal of subsidy with the same aligning with the APC government, but like I said, that's where it ended. His own criticism, and I agree, is that it has not been properly managed.
Yes.
There's no transparency and accountability when it comes to the funds, right. Because if the Nigerian people suffered so significantly based on the effects of fuel subsidy with the untold hardship it's had on the people, then we should be enjoying the benefits 3 years afterwards. Don't forget, President Tinubu had said that 3 years will begin the journey to consolidation, that after the childbirth or the pains of childbirth, Nigerians begin to see the benefits. Unfortunately, 3 years down the line, we haven't seen the benefits. And so we then criticize the manner in which what should have been a good policy or is a good policy has been handled, right. And where the money has been channeled towards. So great conversation, good to hear the ideas, great to hear the alternative options that are available to Nigerians. And irrespective of what we say here, Oji, the most important people and the people that will vote are people who are watching, the Nigerian people. Which idea sounds best to you? But I would advise that it's an informed decision, not made emotionally, not made to play to the gallery, right. Not made to be popular or so that people would like what you're saying, but actually that makes economic sense and would trickle down to the benefit of the Nigerian people.
All right. The fireworks, really well said, Ayo, really well said. We're going to continue on this NBA topic. And the fireworks continued. At the NBA conference, Sowore warned the audience not to be deceived by politicians who had previously held office and failed, taking a direct aim at Rotimi Amaechi, accusing him of building a rail line in Rivers State that went nowhere. Amaechi fired back, defending his record on the Lagos-Ibadan and Abuja-Kaduna rail lines before inviting Rivers lawyers to show Sowore the projects he built across the state, telling him directly that when politicians are talking, he should close his mouth. Let's take a look.
Where are those from Lagos? There is Lagos-Ibadan Railway is working or not? In my time, it was working. I don't know what's happening under Tinubu. There is Abuja-Kaduna Rail working or not?
What happened?
Now, where are Rivers lawyers? Please take Sowore around. Where are the Rivers lawyers who are present? Take Sowore around.
Okay.
Sowore, I said I built that road. I built this road, I built this primary school, I built that primary school. Sowore, what is your experience?
All right, go
When politicians are talking, close your mouth.
Yes, you have the right of reply. Yes.
I like that Sowore took that quite well. But this was quite viral. Amaechi was trying to draw a line between those with governing experience and those without. But Sowore flipped that argument instantly, because if governing experience is a credential, the question Nigerians are asking is, what exactly did that experience deliver? And I'll take some reactions on X. Good one. Sowore thinks every opportunity given is an avenue for activism when politicians with experience are talking. Who is Sowore? Another X-user wrote, I don't like Amaechi, but what project has he, Sowore, implemented and completed since when he started his political ambitions? Ordinary borehole. Sowore no do. All we see now protests and activism. Gozier wrote, Amaechi was one of the best governors Rivers State ever had. Built roads, renovated primary health care centers, renovated government primary and secondary schools, even police stations. And then finally, Chidi wrote, in as much as I'm not a Rotimi Amaechi fan, he was part of the people that put us in this present-day mess, having supported and worked with Buhari for 8 years. But activism is not leadership. Sowore should concentrate on his activism. Biko, Dr. Vati, over to you on this analysis. I mean, this was quite the viral video, and that's why we got a lot of reactions.
A number of foundational points.
Yes.
I made a point earlier, and I repeat it again, that I would like to congratulate the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association, that this annual conference in Port Harcourt is getting off on a very good note, focusing on the 2027 electoral process and focusing on issues rather than personalities. There are a number of issues that we all think, I assume, that should be part of the conversation, and that, you know, candidates should come across and say, well, this is what we think is important. And for the Nigerian people, the electorate, to be able to assess them on the basis of their focus on the important issues of the day, whether it is state police or subsidy removal or retention or all the other issues that affect us all. So to that extent, I think, you know, it was a very robust, interactive, inclusive, entertaining session that the Nigerian Bar Association got off with yesterday, focusing on important issues. The second point is that leadership is important. Again, that conference yesterday focused on the idea of leadership. They had the SDP presidential candidate, the presidential candidate of the NDC, the representative of the APM, Donald Duke, representing the People's Redemption Party, PRP, and also, you know, Rotimi Amaechi, vice presidential candidate of the ADC. And these were the persons who confronted the public, and Mr. Peter Obi, yes, I mentioned him earlier, you know, confronted the public with key issues and what their parties would do. Now, the devil is in the details in terms of the various perspectives. Peter Obi says the problem is the management. He's not going this time with Atiku Abubakar. You know, he's saying, well, you can remove subsidy, but how you manage it matters. And there's a perspective out there in that regard. Sowore says, well, that the poor in Nigeria should be subsidized instead of the rich. That's another perspective. So you have those different perspectives there that the electorate can consider in terms of that particular issue. Then there was the point about experience, on the basis of which Mr. Rotimi Amaechi asked Sowore to close his mouth. That is not just about complaining. Rail line leads nowhere. Politicians have failed Nigerians. And I think that Sowore listened to him when he asked him to close his mouth. Because thereafter, I have not seen any other video showing that he spoke after that. However, the point about experience is not an absolute point. You can only have experience when you are given the opportunity. What Sowore is asking for is an opportunity to lead Nigeria, so that he can show that he can make experience, he can make a difference. While experience is important, then the age of Methuselah, we have been told in folk wisdom, does not translate into wisdom. That's right. So those Nigerians who are saying the issue is about performance.
Yes.
Because you can have an old man who has experience who is very stupid. There are a lot of very stupid old people, you know. But the residual point is about leadership.
All right.
Such leadership that makes a difference. Such leadership that you can measure and say this is the difference it has made. So Nigerians, I guess, will continue to ask the question and to raise the question that the problem with Nigeria is one of leadership.
All right.
And we should take a cue from the NBA to continue to focus on the issues rather than minutiae, or unimportant issues. Because 2027 should mark a turning point for this country to get it right.
This is the point.
And that's why Peter Obi is always going around saying a possible Nigeria is possible.
A new Nigeria is possible.
Okay.
A new Nigeria is possible.
So,
all right.
A future of possibilities.
A future of possibilities. Rufai, in a similar vein, all the presidential candidates were asked whether they would accept the results if they lost. And almost all of them said they will not if the result polls weren't fair. Let's take a look.
You lose the election on January 16th, 2027. Would you accept the outcome? Yes or no?
No, if it's not fair.
No, if it's not fair.
Yes.
Governor Duke?
Why should I accept something that is wrong? If I agree with him. If it's not fair, I will not accept it. Doesn't mean I go to the courts. I may not go to the courts, but personally, I will not accept it.
Governor Obi?
I'll win.
Lawan?
Definitely, if it is free and fair, we will accept. If not, we will not accept.
Governor Amaechi?
There will be no need for the question. We are the most detribalized candidates, if you look at where we're coming from. So we will win. We are not Yoruba, we are not Igbo, we are not Hausa, we are Nigerian candidates.
There is no way we can win if we don't fight. And there's no way we can lose since we are fighters. Yes, we will win. No, we will not accede if it's not free, fair, and credible. Thank you.
Really, Peter Obi said, I will win. Well, meanwhile, a lighter moment from the conference caught the public's attention with a man who identified himself as His Royal Highness and Oba Rufus Ajayi, imploring the presidential aspirants to revisit flaws in the Constitution made the rounds. Well, in that trending video, the Oba also speaks to the character of Nigerians, saying that the Lord said, let there be light, not let there be a thief. Let's take a look.
I am surprised. The question is this. I am surprised.
Who are you? Can you introduce yourself?
My name is His Royal Highness Oba Rufus Ajayi Arilewola II.
Kabiyesi.
Thank you very much. I am surprised none of the presidential candidates say anything about the fundamental flaw of Nigerian character in the constitution that we are operating right now. God, when He created this world, told us, let there be light. Let there be human being. God did not say, let there be armed robbers. God did not say, let there be insecurity.
Okay.
We know Jesus Christ died in between two thieves. We know there must be more bad people in society than the good ones. Yes, what I'm trying to say is that I want them to say something. Are they going to change this constitution so that we have a good constitution that we say, let there be light, let there be good people, let there be security?
All right, Rufai, I'll come to you, but I want to ask Dr. Abati, because you said it behind the camera, and I want our viewers to hear you say, what is the caveat behind this Oba? Just this Oba quickly before.
The Oba, I think Rufus.
Oba Rufus Ajayi, yes.
As he introduced himself.
Yes.
Yes, he's a lawyer. So, and he's a citizen. So he has every right to say, oh, what will you do about constitutional review? That constitution does not say, let there be armed robbers. And there are many Nigerians, from Professor Issa Sage's, seminar essay on the Nigerian constitution up till everybody else. Yes, the constitution, there are many omissions there. But the caveat that I was saying, by the way, was that this Oba Rufus Ajayi is a very controversial personality, particularly his claim to kingship, to being an Oba of the Igbomna in Kwara State. There are persons who have protested that he's not a king, but that does not, take away from the fact that as a citizen, he can express his views.
All right. Rufai, over to you.
With due respect, I want to go, that's minotaur. There are people that we don't even know their origin, their academic qualification, and all of that, In fact, they've changed position about the places they work many years now, and they put it on their forms. So what you just said now is minotaur. So you see what it feels like when you were saying,
personalities are also important.
Oh, personality is important now.
But when it's without prejudice to his right as a citizen.
When it becomes somebody else's matter, you say it's minotaur. What you say is that it's minotaur.
It's not minotaur. It's important for public conversation.
So
go and Google it. Google it.
So what we also saying is that somebody that said he went to a lawyer in 1999 that is not saying that again. It's also important for public conversation.
Google it.
Audrey.
Go and look for surgical evidence or empirical evidence. Yes, I don't know the difference between empirical and surgical. It's only on the Arise Money show.
They have brought previous conversations.
Now you hear empirical evidence, surgical evidence. Go and look for surgical evidence.
All right, let's have this robust conversation. And I think he actually made a valid point. The Oba was talking about the Constitution. I don't want us to lose that because I think this is one of our issues here. Why didn't the lawyers...
No, the Constitution is flawed.
It's flawed.
We can't deceive ourselves. We've talked about it many times now. Dr. Abati, we're aspiring today. It was Dr. Abati and I that had that conversation with former president of the former head of state, was Abdul Salami Abubakar. And we brought this same issue of the Constitution is flawed. And remember the answer he gave us that day. He said, why haven't you people changed it? He said, I've left there since 1999 for you people. You keep shouting that the Constitution is flawed. What have you done to change it? That was what, because we blamed it, why did you give us such a flawed Constitution? He said, why are you blaming me? I've left this since 1999. Why do people change this? And I think that's a conversation for everybody. But let me go back to this subsidy matter. You see, the problem with Nigeria is this, is that there's a massive level of crony capitalism. Do you know, like you remove subsidy or you don't remove subsidy, there's still going to be stealing and crony capitalism in governments. The difference is that subsidy puts money in the hands of some people. When you remove it, the money is now diverted to the hands of new crony capitalists, aka NMPC that removed 7.1 trillion as energy security costs, and they took 50% of their revenue that they were supposed to give us as a country to give to what's it called, subsidy. They said they wanted to clear some areas. And the contractors that are not even Nigerians, that they are giving all the contracts to, that are not enjoying subsidy. So, as regards the argument of people like Peter Obi that we look at the way we spend the money, there will be a new set of crony capitalists. Any way you do it in Nigeria, see, Nigerians, Nigerian elites have perfected the art of corruption. That if you go like this, they will block your corruption. They will block you. If you go like this, they will block you with corruption. So they know every way out. And as long as that elite feeds in that crony capitalist bubble, you will never have a trickle down. It's never going to be possible. What we are asking for now is, how can the stealing reduce? You know me, I'm very realistic. I'm not saying that there's no way they're not going to steal either ways, plus subsidy without subsidy. It's how can we reduce the stealing and so more money can trickle down to the people. So that's the bone of contention of all of these debates. The debates now we are now having is one that is brought forward. But I think Atiku has not completed the journey. Because if he says we subsidize producers, how will you do it? That's where the methodology comes in. Because when the methodology even comes out, we'll still even find loopholes there. But the fact that I don't want us to delude ourselves is, for you to think that a country that was built on elite rent-seeking and patronage would change in your lifetime must be the height of delusion for you.
All right.
What we are just fighting for is how we can release elite partner rentier system and push the money down to people. I mean, since the time I was the first person to even open, you see, that's why I say the opposition does not even do their research. I was the first person to open their eye to the fact that you are talking about subsidy, but they get 34 trillion in import waivers. Do you see, since I said that in Ayo, all the opposition have been shouting it, 34 trillion import waiver, 34 trillion import waiver, 34 trillion import waiver, 34 trillion import waiver. Up till Friday when I said it, were they shouting it?
All right.
Go to all their interviews. 24 trillion import waiver. 34 trillion import
And that is
waiver.
the great thing about the advocacy that we do here on
that's
television.
about it.
All right. So
So
I'd like
that's
to,
the point.
yes, we told you, our viewers, that we'll be reading your comments. Ayo, finally, we have a comment from our live feed. And this is from Ojo Steve, who wrote, if Peter Obi wants to retain subsidy removal, there is no point for him contesting but to support PBAT, and that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and accept appointment as economic minister to manage the proceeds of subsidy. I'm looking at you. Thank you to our viewers. What's your comment on that, Ojo Steve?
That tweet has actually exposed one thing that we shouldn't forget. Being president is not about removal of fuel subsidy. It is a policy direction, yes, very significant, but there are other dynamics and other responsibilities of government. Poverty reduction, insecurity. These, I know the economy is very important, but there are also hugely important issues. Corruption, managing resources, revenue generation. These are salient points. So let us not make, I know subsidy removal has become a dominant conversation, but it's not the only conversation come elections. There are many other important conversations. Before it was insecurity, now we move to the economy. So it's important that we don't say, because he should become an economic minister. They also talked about insecurity, looked at state police. There were other conversations that we had. We just spotlighted fuel subsidy removal because it is topical, but that's not what makes a president.
All right, thank you, Ayo. And again, thank you to our viewers. We'll continue to highlight your comments on what's trending. Now to Niger State, where a devastating new video is stunning the public. In the clip, dozens of elderly men, women, and children are seen being held captive in a kidnapper's den in the forest after terrorists abducted worshippers from 4 mosques during Friday prayers last week. The attacks took place in Bogu local government area of the state, with the terrorists in the new video urging victims' relatives to identify their loved ones. Let's take a look.
Ga su da insha Allah kowa dai ya ga akwai dan uwan shi shiki, waye ne baban shi yake shiki ko maman shi, waye ne kanin shi yake ciki, waye ne yaron shi yake ciki, kowa dai ya gani ga su nan suna hannunmu da insha Allah. Ga su kamar yadda kuka gansu, insha Allah wannan da ya wadatar.
This is incredibly sad and unacceptable. The Niger State Police Command have confirmed the attack, with the state's commissioner for information saying on Sunday that Governor Umaru Bago has called on security agencies to strengthen their efforts to bring them home. But online, many are saying this is a heartbreaking scene we see far too often in Nigeria. I mean, like I read earlier, they're saying about 500 of them were kidnapped. Can you imagine 500? Where did they pass? Where did they go through? How did this happen in Nigeria? Dr. Bati, a quick comment from you and we will continue on our story.
Sad reminder
really sad.
of the tragedy, of the distress, of the agony that the average Nigerian faces. 500 persons abducted, taken to the forest. You could hear children crying in the background, women, the vulnerable, the old, the elderly, in just one state. Just because these persons refuse to submit to the dictates of terrorists who have told them to pay taxes, who have told them to change their religion or follow certain religious rules. This, again, is a sad reminder of the continuing challenge of ensuring peace in Nigeria, of government remaining committed to the issue, the challenge of insecurity, and for all the candidates who are seeking leadership positions to know that one way in which they can make a difference is to begin to discuss how to make this environment safe for everybody. It's not just for the incumbent government, it's for all levels, federal and subnational, to ensure that we win the war against terrorism and insecurity in this country. And we would like to get more robust ideas, more measurable, performance ideas in terms of how anyone who wants to rule this environment will make this environment safer for all of us.
I like that you tie that in with the presidential candidates, and this is really what they should be looking into. The failure of security in any society is really the failure of the leader. Now to a deeply disturbing video showing stranded commuters on the Benin-Agbor expressway using machetes to create their own paths through a forest to escape a multi-day traffic gridlock is sending shockwaves across social media. Days without food, without water, and now cutting through a forest just to get home. Let's take a look.
You see people for road. Edo State, everywhere block. Edo shiny. Motor went this bush now past 200. Because no road. The main road block. No road. No road. The only one road they pass the whole road and block so. Inside bush for George now with this so. No road.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, revealed that he will personally travel to the Benin-Asaba road today with a promise to solve the problem. Speaking with members of the media, he explained that the issues were not caused by the Ministry of Works, but caused by trying to involve the private sector. We did highlight the trauma people faced yesterday, and they're still facing as we speak on that Benin-Agbor expressway. We've heard from the Minister of Works. Your thoughts?
And next time, Minister Amaechi, see, it's just best you take responsibility. This one that you're now saying that is because you try to involve the private sector or private sector. The only person we know in that ministry is you. That's just it. Just take responsibility. You are going there today, fix it and all of that. But you see, what saddens me in this country is the fact that roads have just constantly failed over the years. And let me even look at the large panoramic view, apart from Umahi. Now, what about other administration? Is it today roads have been failing in this country? Nigeria has close to 200,000 square kilometers of roads built. But if you check out of that close to 200,000 square kilometers, every government comes in, they say they fix roads. In fact, every government now tries to outlie the other that they fix more road than you. Has this government who told that lie that they fix more road than the last government? Yes. Because the Buhari government who tell that lie that they fix more infrastructure than Jonathan's government? Yes, they told that lie. So everybody tries to outline the other government that, oh, I've done more roads than you. But what is the quality and the state of the roads?
Yeah, I mean, these
look at this, you see, I don't want to involve Peter Obi, but let me involve you. The day Peter Obi went to stand in front of the road and they say, hey, he's doing politics, he's useless, he's stupid, he's this. Is it Peter Obi that is going to clear grass?
All right, for me, the bigger thing
Fix
is
the road. That's the bigger thing.
These people that have been stuck on the road, they need to be protected. They've been out there, and I don't see any, reports from the Benin Police Command or whatever that Axis is going out there to help these victims, because they are victims of circumstance at this point. These are Nigerians on the road, sleeping on the road. The other story we took, one was an ambulance, a dead body, cops
on the road.
On the road. What is going to happen to our Nigerians that are on the road? For me, that's really the...
One quick comment.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I talked about the responsiveness of government.
Yeah.
Now, I think I saw a video. I don't know whether you also saw it. As we speak, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, is on his way to that Benin-Agbor.
Yeah, that's what we just read.
Yesterday, we said, he said it was a contractor problem.
Yes.
And he's going to fix it. So, again, you have confirmation that government is responding. He is on his way to the Benin-Agbor road. I think his Minister of State is on the way to Ekiti to go and fix another problem in Ekiti. Yesterday, there was this road, Ibadan-Ijebu-Ode road. I used to go on that road, 85, 86, 87, up till 90, until I then went to teach full-time at Ogun State University when I was still a teaching assistant going to teach GNS at Ogun State University in those years. Now, they are going there with Ogun State and Oyo State to fix that particular
old road.
So, yeah, it's an old road, but it was very useful to us in those days to go from UI to go and teach at Ogun State University. So the responsiveness, I think, is something that we should encourage. Too many roads bad across the country, 280,000 kilometers inherited, but they have to keep solving the problem one after the other for the interest of the people. We, long-suffering people of Nigeria, we are the most important. The office of the citizen.
Long-suffering with the bow tie.
Doctor, you are not part of them. You are part of the bourgeoisie.
Don't travel on the road.
No, you are not part of them.
We're not option. If we had real private PJs, helicopters. But Oji, who's going to pay compensation?
We are all in this together.
And the loss of business.
We save Nigeria together.
The point is that they're actually sleeping. I saw a fish owner as well.
So they said the loss was to the tune of 500 billion.
Imagine, really. I mean, for me, security also.
Doctor,
they're
can they file a class action
on
lawsuit?
The road, really. Really sad.
Can they file a class action?
Want a solution?
No, can they file a class action?
We need to have consequences as well.
Can they file
if we don't have that, they should protect this.
Yes,
the Nigerians that are on the road.
Yes, and the federal government. Can they file? I'm asking.
Yes, it means is yes.
Ask for what is
Please
possible.
leave the long-suffering doctor. Leave the long-suffering doctor. Well, all right. Shall we now head over to Nasarawa State now, where a hospital has taken center stage after a member of the House of Assembly, Ibrahim Abdullahi Saad, was seen angrily questioning the disappearance of mattresses and fans he says he bought with his own money. Let's take a look.
Don't allow me to be very upset with you. Why are you lying to me? How can you tell me, oh, this is the mattress I bought? Can I show you the mattresses I bought? I bought it for my people. Where are the ceiling fans? I bought more than 50 ceiling fans. The standing fan, I bought about 40. Where are they? You are telling me, Chewa, you have taken the mattresses around the world. I said, okay, take me to the world. Where are they? Let me see them. Because I've had a discussion with the doctor. He told me that the mattresses are still in the store. I told him, I said, please, take it back to that place. You remember I told you this? It is my money I use in buying it for my people. Why won't they be suffering? And look at the condition of people here. For goodness sake. I'll be proud that I think the hospital. Nothing is here. I can't take it.
This is appalling. The lawmaker has since stated that the matter will be reported to the Nasarawa State Hospital Management Board for investigation. But this is outrageous, Aya, really outrageous. We, the long-suffering citizens, are doing our bit to help out. And these people, we are our own problems. At the end of the day.
You're right.
Why do bourgeoisies like you like to associate with us?
No, Oji, let us tell the truth today.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's the government's fault, we all are quick to point fingers, but the people of the long-suffering people, Dr. Abati, are part of the problem. And that is why the suffering continues.
Correct.
Because everybody is just looking for an opportunity to take advantage of the other person. It is a cultural problem. And this means that even if you change the entire leadership structure, the new people you put in there, there's no guarantee that they won't do the same. Because why is it that someone puts in a project, bought hospital beds, and someone within the hospital system has stolen these beds, and nobody, if he didn't come to inspect his project, nobody accounted for it. So everybody is culpable in this country. And that is why, as long as there are no consequences for action and for bad action, as long as there's impunity that reigns, as long as we don't have strong institutions, checks and balances at all levels, you will not be able to fight corruption. So that is the solution to corruption. Irrespective of what we say here, we preach from now until there's punishment. The person that stole this is punished and made to face the full wrath of the law. And there are not people begging, say, let's have mercy. That's the problem in this country. We need to have consequences for action, and we need to have a proper justice system. Fantastic. If not, to continue to have problems.
Thank you for that. And I'm glad that we've highlighted this. insists that hospital, we need answers. Let's now highlight this deeply alarming video from Delta State, where a divisional police officer is generating widespread concern after she raised alarm over what she describes as rampant sexual activity and cybercrime among secondary school students. In the video, which began trending on Monday, the officer also revealed that one student was found with 85 different Australian numbers on his phone that he was using for online scamming. Let's take a look.
So I packed the phone. Dustbin like this was filled. We took it to the office. iPhone 16, iPhone 15, Samsung phone. And the teacher whispered something. He said, another thing is that they watch pornographic movies in class and some of them are pressing. It took my people explaining pressing to me very well. So we went to 2 other schools. They said, parents of the children you seize their phones in school, they don't reach police station before I reach. To do what? Collect back the destruction of this generation that we snatched from their children. Do you know, I saw Nigeria's famous artists. Most of you seated here, that your WhatsApp have been hacked, or they've sent you a message. Somebody paid me 500,000 to kill you, but you're a good person. I don't want to kill you. Send 350 here, before God and man, on the phone. That guy has more than 85 Australian numbers with Onyibo faces that he's using to collect money from people. Not only that, the girl children in the school, all their porno, naked picture, where they are playing with themselves, is on the phone. So I asked him, who are these people? He said, my classmates.
Quite horrifying to hear.
Well, first, in terms of the performance of the lady police, very good advertisement
let me clap
for the Nigerian police. This is under the auspices of what is called Police Community Safety Advocacy Group. She belongs to that group, and she was participating at the trainers summit. And she spoke very well to draw attention to the crisis we face with the young people, with the Gen Z, when they are not disrespecting elders, behaving like badly brought up children. They are also getting involved in, abuse of social media, pornography, and then sexual exploitation activities. However, she made a point about we having to pay attention to this younger generation. Secondary school students, the kind of atrocities that she reported, very scandalous. Very scandalous. And that should be a wake-up call for society.
Absolutely.
The only place I disagree with her is when she was trying to blame fathers. She was saying fathers should pay attention.
I don't understand.
No, she made a statement like that fathers, you should be part of the life experience of your daughters. You should show interest in the... She was trying to blame fathers. Where are the mothers? These women that will go to marry with a yam and a goat and a family. What is their job? Mothers should be part of it. In other words, parenthood is... If you want to have good children, you want to have a good society, parents, whether male or female, have a role to play.
Fantastic.
Don't blame fathers alone. Because when it comes to benefits, it's the mothers that are always coming to enjoy benefits. When it comes to blame, you blame the fathers. When it comes to celebration, you have a Women's Day. You don't have Father's Day.
Dr. Batish was speaking from experience and empirical evidence.
Parenting should be collective.
From observation.
No.
This is the problem.
When it comes to blame, women need to take part of the blame.
But all right, we have heard you. Okay, we've heard you. This is a wake-up call to parents.
All over the place.
This is a wake-up call.
Mothers should do their work.
All right, this is a wake-up call to parents. And of course, the Ministry of Education as well. Now under Milestones, today we're celebrating the 70th birthday of the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, heir to a centuries-old throne, a spiritual leader for Nigeria's Muslims, and a man President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called a towering figure of conscience, of counsel. The Sultan was born on August 24, 1956 in Sokoto, son to the former Sultan Sadiq Abubakar III. He received his earliest education in Zaria, followed by the Nigerian Defense Academy, where he trained as a military officer. He then served for over 30 years in the Nigerian Army, ultimately rising to the rank of Brigadier General. The mantle of the Sultanate then fell to him on the 2nd of November 2006, following the tragic death of his brother in the devastating ADC Airlines plane crash. In nearly 2 decades on the throne, he has made immeasurable impact, including becoming one of Nigeria's most trusted voices for peace, interfaith dialogue, and national unity. From all of us at Arise News, we wish the Sultan of Sokoto a very happy birthday. Now, we'd like to take our good news report, if we can do that really quickly. We'll take our good news report now. And this one is a landmark for Nigerian medicine. Imo State has made history, successfully completing the first robotic-assisted surgery at the newly established Imo Robotics and Oncology Center in Owerri. The procedure was carried out on Friday on a patient diagnosed with prostate cancer and was described by the lead surgeon, Professor Kingsley Ekweme, as a complete success. Governor Hope Uzodinma pledged that the facility will be made accessible and affordable through the Imo State Health Insurance Scheme. Professor Ekweme says the feat was made possible with a team of specialists from the United Kingdom, United States, and Belgium. A video showing the moment the surgery was completed has since gone viral. Huge congratulations to Professor Ekweme and his team, and of course the good people of Imo State. Now Nigerians have a hospital that has robotics care. On that note, I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis as always on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you all on What's Trending today. Here is Joy is Coming from Fido. Enjoy it, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And this is in celebration, again, for the good people of Imo State. All right. Joy is coming.